Stop. Before you fall in love with that $500,000 starter home, I want you to do one thing. Imagine your money as oxygen. If the house payment uses up almost all your oxygen every month, you're not living in the house, you're drowning in it. Today we're going to find out who can truly afford a $500,000 home in 2026 without turning life into a non-stop stress game. It's late at night. You're scrolling listings like it's social media. And every home that doesn't look like it's held together by hope costs $500,000. The photos show shiny angles, but you can almost smell the old carpet through the screen. And the agent calls it cozy, which is real estate code for good luck fitting your life in here. Then your brain starts doing math. Wait, how do people buy this? You check your salary. You check your savings. You start wondering if you missed a secret level up that everyone else got. But here's the truth. Most people didn't level up. Prices did. So in this video, we're not asking, will a bank approve you? Banks approve people for all kinds of trouble. We're asking, can you afford it and still have a normal life? Like, can you buy groceries without panic? Can you sleep without doing calculator math at 2 a.m.? That's the definition of affordable. In many U.S. cities, $500,000 isn't a mansion. It's a regular box. A couple bedrooms, a small yard, and neighbors close enough to borrow your Wi-Fi without asking. In places near big job centers, $500,000 is the new minimum. Now compare that to income. The median household income is about $84,000. That means we're telling the average family to buy something that costs about 6 times what they make in a year. If a kid tried that with candy, buying 6 years of candy at once, the parents would say, absolutely not. And yet adults here, it's normal. Everyone does it. A broker says you're approved. A friend says, just stretch. Social media shows people flipping houses like it's a video game. But none of that changes one thing. Math doesn't care about vibes. Let's start with the first monster. The down payment. Old school advice says 20% down. On a $500,000 home, that's $100,000 cash. Not someday. Not maybe. Cash you have right now. But the typical savings account is nowhere near that. So most people put down 5% or 10%. Sounds easier until you learn the next rule. If you don't put down 20%, you often pay PMI, an extra monthly fee that protects the bank, not you. Think of PMI like this. You want to enter a theme park, but you don't have the VIP ticket. The park still lets you in, but now you must pay an extra fee every month because you're not premium. That fee can be a few $100s monthly. Okay, now the mortgage itself. Suppose you put 10% down, that's $50,000. Your loan is about $450,000. With interest rates around 67%, your principal and interest payment lands roughly around $2,750 to $2,850 a month. But that number is just the beginning. Next comes property tax, the yearly tax for simply owning the home. Depending on the state, it can be thousands per year. Roughly, many people end up paying something like $300, $700 a month when you average it out. Then homeowners insurance. This has gotten more expensive in many areas because storms, fires, and floods are more common and more costly. Insurance might be another $250, $350 per month, sometimes more. And here's the sneaky one. Maintenance. Homes are like pets. Cute when you adopt them, but they need constant care. A good rule is saving about 1% of the home's value each year for repairs. For a $500,000 home, that's about $5,000 per year, around $417 per month. Now let's stack it like building blocks. Mortgage. About $2,850. Taxes. About $500. Insurance. About $300. Maintenance, about $417. PMI, about $300. Total, roughly $4,300 to $4,400 per month. And remember, this is the nothing breaks version of reality. If you were a kid with $10 allowance, and you promised to spend $9 every week on one toy, you'd have $1 left for snacks, games, school stuff, everything. That's what house poor feels like. You have a house, but you don't have a life. Financial advisors often say housing should be around 28% of your gross monthly income. So if housing costs about $4,367 a month, we reverse the math. To keep that at 28%, you'd need to earn roughly $187,000 per year. Banks sometimes allow a much higher ratio, up to around 43% for all debt. That's like saying, sure, you can carry this heavy backpack, you'll just hate your life. Even with that loose rule, you still need around $150,000 per year. And here's the punchline. Only a minority of households make $150,000 or more. Which means most people cannot comfortably afford a $500,000 home, not safely, not sustainably, not without walking a financial tightrope. So who's buying? Usually one of three groups. 1. Too high incomes, think tech, medicine, law. 2. Family help, gifts, inheritance, parents. 3. People who are stretched so thin that one bad month can knock everything over like dominoes. Let's meet a fictional family. The Parkers. 2 working adults earning $160,000 a year together. Sounds rich, right? But then taxes happen. After deductions, retirement contributions, and health costs, maybe they take home around $9,500 a month. Now subtract the house. About $4,367. They have about $5,133 left for everything else. Cars, gas, food, insurance, phones, utilities, student loans, kids, emergencies. That comfortable income starts feeling tight fast. This is where life changes. You don't think, should we go out to eat? You think, if we go out to eat, can we still pay the mortgage? You don't plan vacations, you plan survival. And that is what people mean by house poor. And then the domino falls. The car needs brakes. The AC breaks in July. A medical bill shows up. Work hours get cut. Suddenly you're not a homeowner. You're a person one emergency away from debt. Here's the scary part. The system doesn't care if you're comfortable. The seller wants the highest price. The agent wants the deal. The bank wants the interest payments. The insurance company wants your premium. Everyone gets paid when you buy. Nobody gets paid when you pause and say, this is too much. That's why approval is a trap word. Approval means the bank believes you can pay most months. It does not mean you can build savings, invest, raise kids, fix the roof, and live like a human at the same time. So what's the smart move? Start with a different question. Not what do I qualify for? But what lets me live peacefully? A home should be a base, not a battlefield. Maybe that means looking at a cheaper home. Maybe it means renting longer and investing the difference. Maybe it means moving to a market where $500,000 buys something reasonable. The goal isn't to win a housing contest. The goal is to build a life that doesn't collapse. And I want to say this clearly. There is no trophy for buying a house that makes you miserable. Stress will erase the joy of having keys in about 3 months. Peace is priceless. Let's summarize like you're explaining it to a 10-year-old. If your house costs so much that you can't save money, can't fix things when they break, and can't enjoy life, then the house is too expensive. That's it. That's the whole truth. If this video helped you see the real numbers, do 2 things. 1. Share it with a friend who's about to stretch for a house. 2. Subscribe, because on this channel we don't sell dreams, we do the math and tell the truth. And in the next video, we'll talk about how to choose a budget that protects your future, not just your image.